Hi everyone. So first I would like to introduce myself as my name is Dr. Vijay Bhaskar Reddy, working as Associate Professor in the Department of Chemistry, Humanities and Sciences. I am handling environmental science subject for you. Today we are going to discuss about the major global environmental problems and global efforts. So the overview of this topic is major global environmental problems and their effects. This topic includes the major three global environmental problems we are going to discuss. First one is the biodiversity loss. Second one is the climate change. Third one is the ozone layer depletion. How these three will be affected the global problems, what are the causes, what are the effects, how environment will be affected by these three, we can discuss elaborately in the next slides. Now coming to the first one, biodiversity loss. So what is the biodiversity? Biodiversity means is the vast and variety of number of species like plants, animals, microorganisms. These are all will be constitute. So means together living in a particular place or particular area is called the biodiversity. So if any species will be extinct, that place or region is called the biodiversity loss. So some of the reasons for the rapid extinction of the species in the biodiversity is called, the first one is the habitat loss. Habitat loss means, for example, when the space will be reduced between the different species present in the biodiversity, then that species will be slowly going to the extinction happen. So means whatever the space require, that will be reduced. For example, if a large space of the forest will be available, whatever the species in that forest will easily accommodate and living together. But once the forest will be slowly cutting it, a deforestation will be takes place, slowly reduce the space, then whatever species are present in that forest will be extinction happen slowly. That is called the habitat loss. Whatever the second one is the climate change, also major causing for the biodiversity loss. So climate change, whatever pollution effects, carbon dioxide level increases. These are all the climate related or alteration of the air composition. These are all also is a biodiversity loss. Excessive pollution. So whatever we are using for the more automobiles or more industrialization effluents are coming to the environment, and pollution is creating. That pollution also is causing for the biodiversity loss. Over exploitation. Over exploitation means is a over utilization like a minerals. We are extracting lot of minerals from the mines for our needs. Or water. More water will be extracted from the ground, then automatically ground table will be decreasing and more ground substance is increasing. So that more over exploitation or forest resources will be over utilization also is causing for the biodiversity loss. So these are all more fast rate of the extinction likely cause collapse of the ecosystem. For fast, rapidly is the extinction takes place, the biodiversity will be loss. So these are the first biodiversity loss. What are the major causes for the extinction of the species, and we discussed that. So now go to the second one, climate change. This is a very important that one. So generally climate change refers to the natural anthropogenic activities or that alters the composition of the global atmosphere. Then automatically climate will be changed. So there are natural causes. First one is the continental drift, volcanic activity and tilt of the earth, ocean currents and solar radiation. These are the naturally occurring or causes for the climate change. And man-made, whatever man or humans activities that climate change causing is called the man-made or anthropogenic causes. So these are the emission of greenhouse gases like a carbon dioxide, methane, nitrogen of NO2, nitrogen dioxide, chlorofluorocarbons. These are generally man-made climate changing causes. First, we are going to discuss about the natural causes. First one is the continental drift. Continental drift means the continents are, when the continents are formed, these landmass become gradually drifting apart million years ago. This will be happen is the million years ago back. Then the continents is a drifting from one place to other place. Landmass and water bodies, these are all will be moving from the one place to other place. Then automatically is the climate will be changed. Then the landmass will be moving or shifting, or water bodies are moving their positions. Then automatically is the climate is changed. That is called the continental drift. Volcanic activity. Eruption in a volcanoes is coming out large amount of sulfur dioxide, water vapor and dust and ash when the volcanoes will be erupted. These are mainly coming from the atmosphere or enter into the atmosphere. So once these gases, whatever gases, either sulfur dioxide, water vapor or dust or ash, once enter into the atmosphere, that particles generally block the incoming rays coming from the sun. So when the atmosphere will be more accumulated with the dust or water vapor or sulfur dioxide, these particles, then whatever incoming solar radiation will be blocked. Block means that is the rays will be stopped. So then immediately what effect will be happen? So immediately that atmosphere is more cooling takes place. When the dust or ash will be stop the in radiation coming from the sun, so then atmosphere, that is cooling will be takes place. That is called the volcanic activity causes for the climate change. The third one is the important for the tilt of the earth. So tilt of the earth, generally the earth is tilted at an angle of 23.5 degree in to the perpendicular plane of its orbital path. Like this picture showing that one, whatever is the earth will be tilting 23.5 degrees, their perpendicular plane of its orbital path. If no tilt means we could not have expected the seasons. So generally earth will be tilted around the perpendicular axis is the 23.5 degrees. If no tilt means there is no seasons. Whatever summer, winter or hot or winter, these seasons will be not, we are not expected. So when the changes like a tilt of the earth can affect the severity of the seasons. So whether the tilt of the earth more or less compared to the 23.5 degrees, the seasons will be severity changes happen. So for example, if the more tilt means warmer summers and colder winters. So if the earth will be tilted more than 23.5 degrees, so what happen is the warmer summers and colder winters will be takes place. And when the less tilt means is the colder summers and the cooler summers and milder winter will be occurred. So this is the coming under the whatever causes for the tilt of the earth. So generally it's a 23.5 degrees of the earth will be tilted. If more tilted is the causes or less tilted is the cause. If no tilted also is that there is no, we have not expected the any seasons. Now coming to the ocean currents. Generally our earth surface, whatever earth will be covered with nearly 75% of the water only, is the ocean water only. So this ocean water will be absorbed the more than double of the sun radiation compared to the atmosphere and land. So ocean, then the ocean water will be heated up and then that water vapor is coming to the enter into the atmosphere also. So that water vapor also is a causing for the climate change. So other one is the whatever is the once the water is moving from the hotter to colder, colder to hotter is the inside the whatever water vapor. So that also is causes for the ocean currents. So if the much more of the heat escapes from the ocean is in the water vapor, and when the water will be vaporized, that water is more escaped into the atmosphere, that causes for the climate change. So solar radiation, generally the sun is the fundamental source of the energy for that drives our climate system. So if the more radiation or less radiation, these are all will be influencing the climate changes. These are the natural causes for the climate change. So now coming to the man-made. Here the man-made, we discussed the carbon dioxide emissions, methane and the nitrogen dioxide, chlorofluorocarbons. Generally, carbon dioxide generally is coming from the combustion of the fuels in automobiles, industries, thermal power plants. These are the major source for releasing the carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. And methane also thermal, whatever is the gas plants, gases, uh, geothermal energy, that gases is directly coming to the methane gas. Nitrogen dioxide, this also when the coal will be burned, nitrogen present in the coal sample is converted to the oxides of nitrogen oxides. Chlorofluorocarbons, these are widely using for the different purposes in our daily life, either coolant or refrigerator or ACs or different styrofoam packing materials. These chlorofluorocarbons are utilized. So when that will be enter into the atmosphere, also cause for the climate change. Now coming to the what are the effects of the climate change? When the climate is changed, what are the effects? So major effects of the climate change is the global warming. When the carbon dioxide levels increased in the atmosphere, is a global warming is increased. So warming the oceans. Warming the oceans means whatever is the plants and animals present in the aquatic life will be damaged. And melting of glaciers. When the temperature is increased, is a melting of glaciers. So melting of glaciers means is the sea level will be increased, sea level will be rise. Acidity of oceans, when the more pollution is there, nitrogen oxides, carbon dioxide or any sulfur related oxides present in the atmosphere. So that will be combined with the water vapor or moisture or humidity present in the atmosphere. Slowly it will convert to the acids. So means acids of oceans are created, more acidic nature is created. Floods and droughts are coming. Human beings suffer from the safe drinking water. Climate change could lead to mitigate human beings. So these are all the effects of the climate change. So now coming to the third global effect problem is the ozone layer depletion. So generally is that the earth atmosphere is composed of several layers. Already we know that one. So first troposphere is the lower layer extended up to 18 kilometers from the earth surface. So means for example this is the earth means up to 18 kilometers this layer is called the troposphere. So from 18 to 15 kilometers next layer is the sphere is called the stratosphere. So from the next layer extended up to 50 kilometers from the surface of the earth is called the stratosphere. So next layer, another layer extended up to 80 kilometers from the surface of the earth is called the mesosphere. Up to 400 kilometers is the thermosphere, and mesosphere up to 960 kilometers. These are the different layers will be present in the from the surface of the earth. This here the ozone. Ozone will be nearly present in between the stratosphere and troposphere. So nearly between the 15 to 18 to 50 kilometers in between the ozone layer will be occupied. So this ozone layer, whatever this ozone layer will be, how much thickness is there? How to determine what are the units are used for the thickness of the ozone layer? So the thickness of the ozone layer was expressed in terms of one of the units is called the Dobson units. In the Dobson units, we can measure or express ozone layer, how much thickness is there in the between the troposphere and stratosphere. So here the generally when the thickness is varies, so thickness some places thickness will be less, some thickness will be more. So this thickness will be varies seasonally and geographically. So the main what is the purpose of this ozone layer? The layer is absorbed 97 to 99% of the sun's high frequency UV light radiation will be absorbed. So this ozone layer main function in the atmosphere is absorb the UV radiation from the sun. So that is the ozone layer function. So now coming to the next slide, we are going to here the UV light radiation. Here the UV rays there are classified UVA, UVB, UVC radiation is there and their wavelengths. So wavelengths is the UVA is coming to the 315 to 400 nanometers and UVB is the 280 to 350 nanometers. UVC is the 100 to 280 nanometers. When the wavelength will be less and energy that radiation will be more penetration capacity will be having. When the wavelength will be more and penetration capacity of the energy, that radiation will be less. So that's why UVB is a more penetration capacity than the UVA radiation. So because this energy will be more. So and for the Einstein, E is equal to h nu, is the nu is equal to c by lambda. So means is the hc by lambda. So wavelength will be less means more energy that radiation is having. More energy means penetration capacity will be more. So when that will be reached to the earth surface, so that will be more affected. So for that purpose, in between the stratosphere and the troposphere, in between the ozone layer will be there. So 15 to 50 kilometers in between these two layers, ozone layer will be there. So that ozone layer will absorb the more energy radiation, UVB, UVC radiation will be absorbed and protected the whatever plants and animals living on the surface of the earth. Now going to the how ozone will be formed. So generally ozone is a formula whatever is the O3. This will be the 3 oxygen atoms present in the structure. So this is the a bluish gas and is a color is the a bluish color will be there. So in that is a very poisonous gas. This gas is the very poisonous gas and nearly this is the boiling point 112 degrees centigrade will be there. So generally this whatever is a ozone gas, at atmospheric pressure, ozone can be partially dissolved in water. So means when the dissolved in the water will be very less. At atmospheric pressure conditions, normal pressure conditions, ozone can partially dissolve in water. When the standard temperature and pressure conditions, the solubility of the ozone will be 13 times that of the oxygen. Okay. Now coming to the how ozone will be formed. Generally, ozone is formed by the action of sunlight on oxygen. Sunlight and oxygen. So when the normal oxygen, when the oxygen will be absorbed the UV light radiation coming from the sun. UV light radiation is coming from the sun. So this oxygen molecule will be splitting into the free radicals of the or free atoms of the oxygen and oxygen. So this is the molecule, this is the atom. Atom of the free radical or simply oxygen atom, not the molecule. So once this oxygen molecule will be take the solar radiation, UVB radiation from the sun, that will be splitting of the free atoms of the oxygen. So whatever obtained the free atoms of the oxygen will be immediately combines with the further oxygen molecule to produce the ozone. So here is the ozone means O3 layer is formed. O3 is whatever gas is formed. So this is the a formation of the ozone in the atmosphere. Now coming to the how ozone is formed and destruction by the natural way. So generally natural ozone production. So here is the whatever is the ultraviolet radiation coming from the sun that will be splitting up the oxygen molecule into the free atoms of the oxygen. That free atom of the oxygen will be combined with the oxygen molecule to produce the ozone. That is the natural formation itself. Is a how the ozone layer will be destruction by the natural way. So this natural whatever is the ozone molecule, O3 molecule will be absorbed the ultraviolet radiation and then this will be dissociated and destroy from the oxygen molecule and free atom of the oxygen. So once is the formation of the natural formation of the ozone will be by using the ultraviolet radiation. Whatever destruction also takes place by the ultraviolet radiation only. So here is the destroy of the ozone layer. Two different processes destroy the ozone layer naturally. The first one when the free oxygen radical combines, whatever free radical combines with the oxygen molecule to produce the whatever diatomic molecule of the oxygen to produce this one. This is the natural way production of the ozone. So second one, the other process when the ozone molecule absorb ultraviolet radiation and form one diatomic molecule and then free oxygen radical. So once the ozone will be absorb the UV radiation coming from the sun, so free atom and oxygen molecule will be dissociated or degradation. Now coming to the chlorofluorocarbons. So what is the role of chlorofluorocarbons in the ozone layer depletion, or ozone layer, how ozone layer will be depleted by the chlorofluorocarbons? Why we are using the chlorofluorocarbons? What purpose we are using? What are the uses of the chlorofluorocarbons? So here the chlorofluorocarbons are powerful O3 or ozone layer destroyers. These are very powerful. These are destroyers. Immediately destroy the ozone layer in the present of the 15 kilometers to 50 kilometers between the troposphere and the stratosphere. So they are used in these following ways. What are the purpose we are using the chlorofluorocarbon means? Generally, main purpose is the coolant in the compressors. Is the main purpose is the as a coolant in a different industries as a coolant. These chlorofluorocarbons are utilizing is the particular in the refrigerators and air conditioners, mainly as a cooling agent. This gas will be utilized. And the second one is the to clean the electronic circuit boards used in computers and telephones, also used as this chlorofluorocarbons. So this in the manufacture of the third one is the foam matters and cushions and disposable styrofoam cups. So these will be widely used for the packing material purpose or for the transportation. As a packing material and cold storage purpose, this material will be foaming material is coming from the chlorofluorocarbons. These three ways we are widely using for the chlorofluorocarbons. So when the thinning and the layer will be slowly is a decreasing. So thinning of ozone layer or reduction in concentration of ozone, especially over the Antarctic region known as the ozone hole. When the layer will be slowly decreasing or thinning of the ozone layer in the Antarctic area. So that process is called the ozone hole. So which covers the approximately 7 million square kilometers. Now coming to the what are the environmental effects of ozone layer depletion? When the ozone layer will be depleted, what are the environmental effects takes place? What are the causes will be affected the environment? We discuss that one. So first one is the damage to the land containing the plants. So because when the direct sun radiation is coming, UVB radiation or UVC radiation is coming, because is that this will be having the more energy will be there. So more energy will be there means whatever frequency will be very less, and once that plants will be received that frequency or energy, so that photosynthesis will be not takes place. Whatever the chlorophyll containing the stromata and stroma, these are all will be damaged. The photosynthesis will be not takes place and the plant is not exist and all are destroyed. So once the direct UVB radiation fall down on the plant material, the photosynthesis not takes place, and whatever stomata, chlorophyll, this magnesium containing the chlorophyll, these are all will be damaged. So decreasing in the population in the aquatic community. When the direct UVB radiation fall down on the aquatic community also is damaged. So increasing in the rate of skin diseases and cancers. So directly fall down on the UVB radiation on the skin, that the skin cells will be slowly destroyed. And disturbance in climate patterns. Climate patterns will be disturbance. Corrosion of materials. So materials also, whatever we are using for the different industries, that materials are slowly corroded. These are the effects of the ozone layer depletion. So now coming to the how CFC will be measured, what are the control measures we require for that one. So main is the control evolving substitutes. So means alternating chlorofluorocarbons we can utilize. So those are development of hydrochlorofluorocarbons instead of the chlorofluorocarbons. Generally chlorofluorocarbons means like a carbon double bond, chlorofluoro either fluorine, like these structures compounds are widely used for the chlorofluorocarbons. So if in place any hydrogen will be there, that is coming under the category of the hydrochlorofluorocarbons. This will be less ozone layer depletion compared to the chlorofluorocarbons. So that's why these hydrochlorofluorocarbons or hydrofluorocarbons will be replaced with the chlorofluorocarbons. So this whatever the depletion ozone depletion completed substances will be releasing to the atmosphere, that one protocol will be maintained. That is protocol is the Montreal Protocol. That is the agreement between the, we can discuss later elaborative Montreal Protocol. What are the minutes in that one? where that protocol will be happen, how many countries are participated, what are the key steps will be taken in the protocol. We can discuss in the next sessions. This will be mostly discussed about the ozone layer, what are the causing for the ozone layer depletion substances, how to reduce that one, that protocol, Montreal protocol. Here is the ozone layer depleting substances. Generally is the chlorofluorocarbons, hydrochlorofluorocarbons, and methyl chloroform, carbon tetrachloride, halogens. These are all major causing for the ozone layer depletion substances. Now coming to the chlorofluorocarbons. So generally these chlorofluorocarbons are highly unreactive at lower atmosphere. For example, in our home we are utilizing for the chlorofluorocarbons as a coolant in the refrigerators, whatever in the air conditioners. So that will be in the earth surface level. So at lower surface or atmospheric level, these chlorofluorocarbons not reactive. When this will be transported to the troposphere, in the troposphere and stratosphere, so here the ozone layer will be there. So when this will be moving or transported from the troposphere to stratosphere, the ozone layer will be destruction reaction takes place indirectly. So here the ozone depleting substances do not directly react with the ozone. So what are the reactions will be involved in the ozone depletion by the chlorofluorocarbons? In these reactions will be explained. For example, if we take the one of the example chlorofluorocarbons, carbon and two chlorine atoms and fluorine atoms will be combined or attached with the carbon. So once this will be absorption or taking the UV light radiation from the sun, immediately that will be dissociated by the CClF2 and Cl radical will be releasing Cl. So this reaction will be takes place by the free radical like reaction mechanism. So this will be dissociate in the presence of the UV light radiation. So that will be remove the or dissociate the free radicals, one of the chlorine radical. That the obtained the chlorine radical or free atom will be combined with the ozone layer present in the troposphere and stratosphere. So immediately chlorine monoxide and oxygen molecule will be converted. Chlorine monoxide and oxygen will be converted. This chlorine monoxide once again utilized or absorbed the UV radiation to convert the mono chlorine atom or chlorine radical and oxygen free atom or oxygen radical. So this oxygen radical once again combined with the ozone layer to produce the diatomic molecules of two oxygen molecules are produced. So in that way, chlorofluorocarbons will be liberated free radicals. That free radicals will be whatever is the chlorine will be combined with the ozone layer to produce the oxygen and the chlorine monoxide. This chlorine monoxide once again chlorine and oxygen radicals will be liberated. So if the small quantity will be enter into the troposphere in between that ozone layer, the ozone layer slowly will be depletion takes place by these chain reactions. So that is the reactions will be involved in the ozone layer depletion. So in this presentation we discussed about what are the major environmental problems like a biodiversity loss, what are the causes for the biodiversity loss, what are the effects of biodiversity loss, and second one is the climate change. What are the effects of climate change? What are the natural climate change causes? What are the man-made climate change causes? Tilt of the earth, oceanic currents, volcanoes eruption. These are all natural causes for the climate change. And ozone layer depletion substances. What are the reactions involved in the ozone layer depletion? What are the units used for the ozone measurement or that one? These are all discussed in this lecture. So next class we discussed about the bioremediation. So what are the bioremediation? What is the importance of the bioremediation? We discussed in the next class. Thanking you.